While some people have difficulty finding jobs, others have difficulty enjoying the ones that they do have. Here are 8 insane things that employees have done to escape their work environments, and their sometimes severe consequences. A man who worked at the restaurant Moe's decided to give his customers a show when he quit, as he employed the help of 2 of his friends to play Vanilla Ice's Ice Ice Baby at full blast in the restaurant. The man jumps on the countertop and rips his top shirt, revealing underneath another one that simply reads, "I quit." After a few more minutes of dancing in front of customers, the now ex-employee struts out of the restaurant, having successfully given the middle finger to the establishment that had previously kept him down. Charlo Green, a news anchor in Anchorage, Alaska, opted to leave her job not in style, but for what she considered to be a moral reason. Green, who also served as the head of the Alaska Cannabis Club, sought to help create legislation to decriminalize marijuana in the state of Alaska in her spare time. It was her hope that she could turn around the misconception that weed was unhealthy, as well as get inmates who were in prison for possession of marijuana released from jail. Green decided to go about quitting her news anchor job when she opted to do a story on legalizing marijuana for her local news program. Then, moments after the show, she stated, "And as for this job, fuck it, I quit," before walking out and leaving her co-anchor stunned to keep the program rolling. While the band Queen is known for its frivolous lyrics and raw operatic talent, they were once ruled over by a manager named Norman Sheffield, who seemed to be the Darth Vader to their music's Luke Skywalker. Sheffield took all the credit for their talent and success, often claiming that it was he that was launching the band to record sales and selling out their concerts for them. Queen did not take kindly to Sheffield's selfish pouting and decided to fire him, but realized they couldn't due to their contract. But rather than give him a regular notice and work things out, Queen instead decided to write and record an entire song in front of Sheffield and use that as his goodbye notice. The song, titled Death on Two Legs, is in no way subtle, as it compares Sheffield to a blood-sucking leech and goes on to profess that Sheffield is a misguided old mule with pig-headed rules. Queen implores that the man should either leave or kill himself, and judging that he took the words to heart, Sheffield resigned from his contract with Queen, leaving them to continue to skyrocket in the hearts and minds of rock fans around the world. In August 2006, a radio DJ whose air name was Inetta the Mood Setter decided to take her revenge on a station that paid her peanuts. Inetta claimed on the air that her station of 93BLX was paying her a mere $6 an hour for the past year, and that the relationships she had at the station were hostile. Inetta was heard belting into the microphone, "For the last 6 years, I made $6 an hour. That ain't nothing. I just got a raise after 6 years. I know I'm qualified, and after saying this, I don't care if I ever get another job in radio, period." She ended her rant with the mic drop of all mic drops, saying, "I quit this bitch," before being pulled from the air. The FCC, responsible for keeping the airwaves free of profanity and crude comments, was less than thrilled to hear Inetta's tirade. She has not worked in the world of radio to this day. Famed author Ernest Hemingway felt himself trapped by his first publisher, a man named Horace Liverwright, due to Liverwright's stranglehold on the kinds of material Hemingway could release to the public. After having countless ideas edited down and multiple drafts of books entirely discarded by Liverwright, Hemingway opted to get fired from his boss any way he could. However, he was dissuaded to leave his publisher time and time again, and only got the motivation to leave for good when another publisher approached him and offered him a lot more money. Now more determined than ever, Hemingway wrote an entire novel in secret, promising Liverwright that it would be the book to launch them both into stardom. The book was titled The Torrents of Spring and featured 2 subplots. One about a man that impregnates a young Native American woman and hides away with her in the forest, while another man does copious amounts of drugs and begins to suspect he may be the president of Mexico. At the time of the writing, around 1919, drugs and sex were highly censored from the American public, meaning that there would be no way Liverwright could publish the book, having allowed his client to spend so much time on a product that could never be delivered to the public, though it was later. Liverwright released Hemingway from his contract, and the author went on to be a massive success. A woman named Julie Austin found herself trapped in a dead-end job handing out movie tickets at a local theater. While she loved film, her overbearing boss made the decidedly awful job even worse. Austin herself wished to act, and she managed to get an audition with a local studio that was doing a commercial for a phone company. She skipped work that day and headed to the audition without telling her boss in advance. At the audition, Austin was led into a room for a screen test and instructed to pull out her phone and pretend to have a conversation. The casting director informed her that the audio of the tape would be taken out later and that they were only checking to see what she would look like on the camera. Austin pulled out her phone and called her boss. Her audition then proceeded as she informed her boss that she would be quitting her job. Austin did not book the commercial, but she did become a small business owner and was never unemployed again. A man named Joey DeFrancesco decided to leave his job from Renaissance Providence Hotel with flair and fanfare, literally. After repeatedly being mistreated by his boss and other staff at the hotel, DeFrancesco rounded up a group of his marching band friends and decided to storm the building and wait for Joey's boss to show up. When the manager appeared, he attempted to remove all of the band before Joey issued a letter claiming he is quitting the job. The band immediately starts playing loudly as Joey smiles and walks away. The manager angrily bolts in the opposite direction, with the band still playing him off. The hotel recently staved off a boycott from other workers, and the workers are suing the Renaissance Providence Hotel for mistreatment. Flight attendant Steven Slater made headlines with his method of quitting his job as he finally reached the end of his rope. After landing at JFK Airport, Slater found himself in a shouting match with a passenger that would not listen to his instructions about not removing baggage from the overhead compartment while the plane slowly made its way to the airport. The woman ignored Slater's consistent pleas before she accidentally smacked her baggage into his head. Slater reeled back and then began a tirade of cursing and screaming at everyone in the vicinity. He ran up into the intercom and shouted into it, "I've been in this business for 28 years. I've had it. That's it." He then punched open the emergency door, causing the emergency inflatable chute to launch out. Slater slid down the chute with glee, finally having departed from his hellish nightmare. He was later arrested for misuse of airline equipment and mischief, as activating the emergency chute is technically a felony. He awaits prosecution but could face up to 7 years in prison for his meltdown. Though at this point we can't really imagine that Slater cares too much, as even a prison cell is larger to move around in than the narrow hallways of a passenger jet.